Could this be the path towards reconciliation between two nations that have had friction for many, many years? I pray so. I hope so. I mean, I like both countries. I've been to Greece and Turkey multiple times, and I have to say they have their pros and cons, but overall, they're both great nations, and they've received many, many tourists, many visitors every year. It's always active. Now, Greece has had their financial crisis. Turkey has had their earthquake, natural disaster crisis at times. And sometimes those bleed over to each other. But I would say that both countries would serve better as friends than rivals. Now, NATO had their summit a month ago, and as you can see here, the leaders of both nations met. They both reelected recently. And the headline says positive climate. Hopefully that it means something. I mean, this could be just a photo op, and both leaders want just to show that they're, friendly and, trying to win people over. But only time will tell, really. And I'm not gonna go through this whole article, but really it's just to show that, there's at least an effort by both sides to at least talk, which, could lead to something. So you have to stay positive. From Al Jazeera, Mitsotakis, Erdogan hail positive climate in Greece-Turkey ties. After decades of dispute over energy resources, the two recently re-elected leaders agreed to a positive climate. The leaders of Greece and Turkey have agreed to resume talks and confidence-building measures as they hailed a new positive climate in their often fraught ties. Yes, very often. Very often. The two neighboring nations have been at odds for decades over several issues, including energy resources, overflights above the Aegean Sea, and ethnically split Cyprus. Now, before I continue this article, let's go and see what they're talking about with Cyprus, because Cyprus is a big deal, and it's been going on for several decades right now. So right here you have Cyprus, and it's split. Right here, the north, you have Turkish Cypriot. The south, you have Greek Cypriot. And then in between is a UN buffer. And this all happened really in the early 1970s, as you can see right here in the Wikipedia article. Now here it says Cyprus problem. It's an ongoing dispute between Greek Cypriots and in the southern portion of Cyprus and Turkish Cypriots in the north. And it really all started from, in the current phase, from the aftermath of the 1974 Turkish invasion of Cyprus, occupying the northern third of Cyprus. Although the invasion was triggered by the 1974 Cypriot coup d'etat, Turkish forces refused to depart after the legitimate government was restored. The Turkish Cypriot leadership later declared independence as the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, although only Turkey has considered the move legal. Well, their countries to be broad international opposition to Northern Cyprus independence. According to the European Court of Human Rights, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus should be considered a puppet state under effective Turkish occupation and legitimately belongs to Cyprus. Then it goes on about the United Nations. The thing is, this is one of those things where the Greeks feel that, hey, this is, we were here, you guys invaded, you should leave. Cyprus has been restored, the government was restored. Why are you still here? Turkish government say, no, we're here, we're staying. And then you have Turkish families, generations that have come and have, been around that island for quite some time. So how do you reconcile that? Now, I hope there's some kind of reconciliation, something that both parties can agree on. We shall see, but time will tell. So back to the article. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis and Turkish President Recep Erdogan, who were both recently re-elected, met on the sidelines of a NATO summit in Lithuania's capital, Vilnius. It is to the benefit of both countries that the positive climate formed in bilateral relations over recent months has continuity and consistency, the two leaders' offices said in identical but separate statements. That's nice to hear, but people want to see results. So, I guess to give it time. Erdogan is in his last term. I'm not sure about how many terms the prime minister can run in Greece. I'm not sure about that, but I do know Erdogan is in his last term. The two sides agreed to build on the positive momentum, active multiple channels of communication between the two countries in the coming period, added the statement, noting that the two leaders look forward to more frequent contact at all levels. Okay, it's all positive. We shall see. I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm seeing, but we shall see. Then it goes on about cabinet members and everything. But here's one issue that it had. Last year, Erdogan halted bilateral talks in a dispute over airspace violations and accused Mitsotakis of pressuring the United States to block the sale of F-16 fighter jets to Ankara. Now, if you look, there's been a lot of issues about not just this, but refugees from the Turkish border going to Greece. I saw one video that I think the Greek Navy were stopping or shooting even at Turkish ships trying to send over refugees from those ships. So there's still a lot of tension between both nations. And again, I think both nations would benefit if they got along and put, the history behind them, basically. But it's going to be difficult because you have a lot of people who still hold a grudge. A lot of people say, okay, this is our land. This is our, what are you doing here? In that case, Cyprus. And, a lot of things that happened during, the Ottoman Empire rule and everything. So, it's a lot. But then you have stories like this where both relations between the two nations improved when Greece became one of the first to send rescue workers to Turkey after devastating earthquakes in February left 50,000 people dead. That was a huge headline. The Turkish-Syrian border was hit the hardest in that earthquake. There are plenty of videos out there of buildings just falling down. They weren't earthquake proof. They were built before year 2000 and just crumbled. Many dead, many injured. It was just a devastating time. But Greece did send rescue workers to Turkey to help, which was great. I mean, it was great to see. And I think, I don't know for sure. I have to look this up. But, the fires that have been happening in Greece, particularly the island of Rhodes, I would hope that Turkey returned the favor and sent help to alleviate what was going on in those fires in Rhodes. So, it's a tragedy. However, if both countries are coming together in times of need, that's a good sign, in my opinion. Then it says here, he acknowledged that the earthquake cooperation brought many changes in the psychology of Greek-Turkish relations. This was what the prime minister said. So-called earthquake diplomacy also came into play in 1999 when two deadly quakes struck Turkey and Greece within a month of each other. Turkey's on a fault line. Greece is, not too far from it, so they experience, tragedy like that, from time to time. But this is just a quick article, quick video, excuse me. I just thought that, I just wanted to share it because, it's personal to me because I like both countries. Again, I have interest in both for different reasons, but I think that region of the world is very important, very nice. I think people should visit both countries and enjoy the weather there, enjoy the people, because there are very nice people in both countries. Enjoy the food. The food is great in both countries, and just a lot of history. You can go there multiple times and just scratch the surface. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick video. I like to expand, and talk about other things, not just domestic stuff, but international stuff as well, because I do like to encourage people to travel and get out of their city, get out of their state, get a flight, get a passport, and explore a little bit. God made this whole world for us to live in and govern. So why not explore some of it? While you're here, why not? So I hope you enjoyed. Take care, guys.